Testing, testing. Just gonna start in another minute here. Hopefully some people join. Currently there's no people tuned in. Just gonna confirm streaming. Yeah, looks like I'm streaming. All right. Yeah, might as well just get started right now. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the first Mitchell Claxton music production live stream. This is going to be extremely strange for me because music is just like a very personal thing, I guess. And everyone does things in their own weird way. And it's kind of oh, what's up, Rose? Welcome to the stream. Um, yeah, it's just weird, kind of burying like how you essentially like create your music babies. So I'm gonna try and produce as if you guys like aren't there, but I will also be like checking the chat and stuff. So the goal here is to try and get a new trance track started. This isn't a tutorial or anything. This is just me trying to like go with the flow, laying down some ideas, riffing, whatever, as long as I can just get a new trance track off the ground. So, not gonna lie, I am coming into this with just like a few kind of moderate ideas. Um, like one of them is creating a track that is like both equal parts trance and equal parts synthwave. Um, Not unlike what the Digital Blonde did with a couple of his albums, but I would definitely try to lean more towards like the uplifting trance sound or even just like more commercial sounding trance. Um, Another idea involves like some funky sounding bass lines. Um, I've been liking some of the more like progressive stuff coming out nowadays. That's on like labels like AVA, which is A&R'd by my friend Somna. I've been playing a few tracks from that label because it's just like banger after banger. So, uh, I don't even really know where to start. Like, sometimes I just like to pull up like Silent One or something and just do like a little bit of like trancey sound design. So, Silent One. And as usual, Silent One usually starts with that weird acid. So, definitely not going to use that. I'm going to click on menu and click on the init preset. And I think I'm just going to create just like a standard trance pluck here. So, I'm going to up the voices on my saw to about 6. Yeah, detune them a little bit. Change my filter to a low pass, and I also want an envelope to control my filter. I'll show you the different steps. So yeah, let's go back to basics. All right, so this is the init patch. It's just a simple saw wave. So I'm gonna up the voices. Doesn't sound any different. But when you detune it... Okay, so you get like that little bit of like that super saw type thing. This thing called retrigger is on, and that makes all of the oscillators start at the exact same time. Because when I have 6 voices, it's essentially 6 sawtooth oscillators at the exact same time. But because I have the detune on, they're all at a slightly different frequency. So when they start at the same time, they eventually all get out of phase with each other, and that's where that kind of laser sound comes in. It's coming from the phaser. I don't want that sound in this, so I'm just going to turn off retrig. So here's it with retrig. Yeah. And then without retrig. Alright. Now I'm going to put just a simple low pass filter on. Maybe bring the cutoff down a bit. And now I'm going to put an envelope on it. And the envelope is going to shape how the filter reacts kind of like over time. So I'm going to increase the filter amount a bit. And I'm going to increase the decay. So the filter amount is essentially how high the filter will come up from this point that it's already set at. Or sorry, up. Yeah, actually, it's both of these. So the way I have it set is that the filter will kind of come up here at maximum and then back down. So you can hear that. If I were to set this decay down to 0, then that means it would pretty much immediately come back down to 0. But when I turn this decay time up, what it's going to do is it's going to immediately jump to the maximum and then come down to our 0. Like I could also add some sustain in so that'll, like, as long as I'm holding the note, it'll stay at some point above 0. So 0, midway, and then the release is just how long the it'll take the filter to get from where it is back down to 0 after I release the key. However, if the oscillator itself has no release on it, then you won't hear it. So it pretty much cuts off as soon as I take my finger off. So I'm going to introduce some release to the oscillator. Not quite sounding how I want. I want to be just a little bit more plucky, so I'm going to bring the decay down and the sustain down. That's better. Maybe I'll increase the detune just a bit. No. Ooh. Whoops. Alright, that's not bad. And it's a little bit premature to be doing this, but I'm going to put a reverb on it right now because it's hard for me to get into the sound design mode without hearing like how it's going to sound when it's like big and epic, I guess. So this is an Arts acoustic reverb. So typically what I like to do is put my dry up to 0 dB, which is essentially just normal. And then I'll put the wet somewhere down below, like -10. There's a lot of high end. I'm going to filter out that high end in the reverb a little bit. Yeah. Maybe like 3 seconds reverb time. Yeah, I think the wet's a little too loud, so let's bring that down. So this is kind of like just like my go-to sound for when I'm spitballing stuff. What's up, Bitter Blossom XO? Oh, what's up? Oh, did I just get rated? Okay. Thank you very much. Actually, that's sounding really nice. Alright, and just for the sake of the sake, I'm gonna introduce another oscillator. This one will automatically be affected by the filter. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to do the same on part B. So I'm essentially just going to add a whole bunch of oscillators. Except that one is not affected by the filter, so I'm just going to turn this low pass on. Oof. What's going on here? Yeah, okay, that's a little bit better. Let's match this cutoff. Chances are I could actually just like copy a bunch of stuff from part A over to part B, but that's just not part of my workflow for some reason. I tend to copy like the envelopes though. So let's copy this one, paste it onto here. I basically already matched it. Maybe I'll use a different oscillator here. Let's keep it at the same octave. Yeah, so the melody for like my latest track. Whoops. I can't remember my own melody. Anyways, let's do some basic EQ on this. Just cut out the low end. I hope you guys can see everything, okay? Let me know. And if you can hear me properly. Actually, let's introduce a little bit of slope and just kind of roll off that low end a little gradually, I guess. Alright. So we got a basic trance pluck. So if I were to turn up the cutoff on this as I'm playing it, it would start to sound really nice and bright. It's not really a lead kind of pluck. It's mainly there just for melody, and if I were to do like a big sound, I would probably use another sound on top of it. But this is good for like character, what's known as like the character of the sound. But if I want to make like a really big epic pluck, I would probably increase the detune on all of my oscillators. Oh, I forgot to increase the detune on that one. To about like halfway, and that would give me like more of a supersaw type sound. But that's not quite what I'm going for right now, so I'm going to keep the detune. That's something a bit more manageable. Yeah, so you kind of have like your kind of like Balearic trance, Alien Fila style pluck. Alright, so this is usually the really annoying part where I try to come up with like the theme of my track, which takes me forever. So I don't know if I'm going to do that right now. Like, it's up to you guys if you want to see me actually like try to come up with a melody or a chord progression, but it's really boring. I could probably like try doing some drums instead. But what kind of key should I use? Give me a second while I try to figure out what kind of key I want to do here. Because I tend to work in the same key just a little bit too often, and that's usually like in both Love Illusion and Such Sweet Sorrow. It was like all of those notes. Yeah. And that's like a pretty emotional key. Skeleton key. D flat. Major? Minor. Okay. What's the equivalent major? I don't know my minors by name. Actually, I could probably look that up. So, no, that's not right. Enharmonic equivalent C sharp minor. Okay, wait. D flat. Oh, sorry. C sharp and D flat are the same thing. F flat major? Is that the enharmonic one? Yeah, okay. So F flat. So is that it? I think that's right. F flat, tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, tone. Oh no, I had it wrong. Yeah, I had. I was one off. Okay, so we're doing D flat minor. So we start with the minor key. All right, so let's see if we can like lay down some basic chords. So actually, let's jam out a little bit. Yeah, that's C sharp minor, aka D flat minor. Whoops. It's so nerve wracking. Oh, my sister just responded. Hi, Megan. It's nice. It's nice to have a bunch of people in the chat right now. Okay, so we know we're gonna start with C sharp, or C sharp minor, D flat minor. Oh, actually, I should choose a tempo. I'm at 120 right now. Let's bump it up to 134. Megan Rose says hi. We're I've got Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube all open. So my sister's talking from Facebook, and everyone else is talking from Twitch. Okay, hold on. Got to remind myself of my scale again. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone. That's a diminished chord, isn't it? Oh no, it's a minor. So that could actually be kind of cool if I were to open that up. That's really dark though. It's also super loud. Is that too loud for you guys? Yeah, I'm afraid I don't have my scales memorized. I just know how to identify major scales based on their root note. I could definitely do an intro with just the one chord, because typically in trance intros and stuff, you don't really. Oh, it is a bit loud. Okay. I'll just bring this one down. Or you know what? I'll bring down my main. That's good. All right. And my mom is saying hi. Hi, Mom. All right. So, if I wanted to make a really dark track, I'd go with that. And then maybe like a... Ooh, no. Oh, I don't have enough keyboard. There's just so many options. I could do inversions. It's just do the fifths and a ninth, and do the third in the melody. That might be a good idea. Rose, I think that's a good idea. So do the fifths and a ninth. Oops, that's not a ninth. How do I do a ninth? there's the ninth. Oh, so that's kind of like a suspended chord. Okay. I've never actually used suspended chords in like my tracks, which I should. They have this nice vibe to them. Oof, not the dark one. So, okay, before we do this, let's get a simple drum loop going. Those tend to get my creativity going quite a bit. So, I'm just going to open up EXS, put a good old Dave Parkinson kick on there. Actually, that one's not bad. If I'm going to go slower, I don't want like a typical like uplifting kick. Yeah, suspended chords are really nice. Ooh, gross. I feel like I've heard that one before. It's like the Simon Patterson smack kick, but I don't want that one. This one's kind of fat. No problem. Yeah, I used to use the Logic stock synths quite a bit there, Deep Mother, but I've kind of fallen out with them for you know, using third-party ones like Silent One, Serum. But there is one synth that I still use, and it's probably the one that like no one else uses. It's called EFM1. Wait, where is it? Yeah, it's just this simple FM synth. Yeah. Anyways, back to the kick. I'm kind of liking this one. So let's just lay down. Okay, let's mute that. All right. So I'm just gonna click on this, quantize this, so it's on grid. All right. We'll loop it out to fill out the phrase, and okay. So before. Okay, so I'm gonna try and like lay down just a simple percussion loop, I guess. It tends to, if I don't go into the studio with like ideas in mind, it tends to be the way I go to get tracks started, because I don't know. It just works for me. Oh yeah. This is this Mariah All and Mariah All Reverse is for this like All I Want for Christmas Is You remix I did. Oh yeah, that's the one. Anyways, whoops. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, the ooh. I would use those, but now that it's on stream, it wouldn't work out so well. Yeah, let's just do a whole Dave Parkinson kit. What? Ugh. I don't think I want like a 909 type hat. I think I want something brushy. Actually, I kind of like that, but except I'm not going to do it on every offbeat. That's just the creative person in me trying to do things. And then I will have like an actual like main hat, and I'm probably just going to strip a lot of the frequencies out of this one. And now, because I want the exact same channel, I'm just going to duplicate this one for now, since I haven't like made a whole lot of changes. Thanks, Deep Mother. This one is not bad. Let's see how it sounds once I put it in. Alright, this one's gonna have to come down because it's kind of overpowering it. So, quantize these ones so they're on grid. I think it needs to be shorter. So, I'm gonna have to find that. Turn it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn off one shot because one shot makes it play like out the entire sample. Whereas if I turn off one shot, then when I release the key, it'll actually cut off. And that way I can add some release. Yeah, I think I want this to be nice and short. We might go a little bit housey, you never know. So, the length of our hat as we hear it is going to be dependent on the length of these notes. So, just to ensure a little bit of consistency, let's first make them all the same length, and then we'll change the actual length. So now I know that they're all going to be the same length. Okay. So even though I like this hat, it definitely does not sound like a main hat. This would be like how I'd like start things off in the intro, and then I'd add like some complex fills. So maybe we'll get like some brushes or some other hats going on. Honestly, Rose, I'm not sure. Like it depends on like the sound you're going for. Sometimes like just having that little bit of variety like makes it sound a little bit cool, or maybe it makes it sound like it's a little bit more live or organic. So like it's something you can play around with, but just because I'm pretty much just doing like straight up EDM, it'd be nice that if they're just the same for me. So I think I'll do a clap before I do any more hats. And when I do a clap, I usually like to do a couple layers. One layer which is like an actual clap, and then one which is just essentially like a highly EQ'd snare just for a little bit of punch behind it. Nope. Let's choose a different octave. No. Actually, since we're going a little bit more progressive, I'm thinking maybe not having like your typical like uplifting clap, or maybe an industrial sounding one like this, and then we just shorten it. But I'm also liking the sounds of these. These would make good fills. So I am going to quickly duplicate this and just record it just so I have the notes there. And who knows, maybe that'll end up being like my actual loop. But yeah, let's try this weird industrial clap. I want to make something that like I've never done before. Like when I'm doing uplifting, it tends to be kind of like the same track over and over again. Or like I know that's being kind of rough on myself, but uplifting can be like very generic sometimes, and my latest track, Such Sweet Sorrow, is like really no exception to that. So I really want to try something that is different and find a way to make it work. So let's put this clap down. Technically, I could just like set up a new region and draw those in, but I kind of like hitting the keys. Yeah, exactly, Rose. Like I love uplifting trance, but it gets stale for me sometimes, and it's actually kind of one of the reasons I stopped making trance for a while. You know, I'm gonna loop this. I kind of like the way that weird clap fill sounds. Huh. It's funny. I didn't even quantize these, but they actually sound really good right now. Like as you can see here down at the bottom, they are not on grid whatsoever. Yeah, Rose, it's really strict. So like uplifting tracks are really easy to produce for me, which is why I essentially blew through Such Sweet Sorrow in like a month, and that was just kind of like part time whenever I felt like it. But yeah, these aren't even on grid, and they actually sound not bad. All right, so this industrial clap we're using, it's just a little bit too long. Wherever it is. Yeah, this one. So, once again, I gotta find it in my sampler. Turn it into a one-shot. I'm gonna save it. I should probably just turn them all into one-shots. I mean, make them all not one-shots. Alright, so now we're gonna do the same thing that we did with our hat. We're gonna make these all the same length. So when you click on it, it'll play it the way it's like it would sound. Whereas if I play it on my keyboard, it's however I play it, right? But here, it's how it's written. So if I, whoops. So if I shorten these and then click on them, yeah, it's a little better. But I think I want it even shorter. Now this is the part where you just listen and see what you want to change. Actually, it doesn't necessarily have to be. I could probably start the next. Let's say I was doing an intro. This would be a like an actual like good loop to like start your trance track on. Either that or something like that. And then you can just like add the other elements as you go along, because for the extended mixes in trance, you definitely want to like introduce your elements like a little bit at a time, and the DJ will use that entire section to mix into the next track. So that's why trance tracks tend to be long, except for the like the radio edits. Or what's up, John? Are you here to completely roast my lack of using hotkeys and doing everything wrong? I hope you had fun at the gym, John. Um, so I don't know. Let's get like some brushy hats going on. I don't know if we want to use closed hats. Well, let's see what we got here. Well, that's not a closed hat. Oh no! Did I accidentally change something else? Yeah, I did. Shit. Yeah, this is supposed to be claps. Claps 2. Command T. What does Command T do again? Yeah, I considered getting battery, but I was too lazy. Dude, I don't remember what Command T does. Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I knew that. That's one of those things where, like, if I had to think of, like, how to do it, I would have thought about it. Yeah. So, what he's talking about is if you put your playhead somewhere and then you press Command T, it'll split whatever you have highlighted. So, that's not what I want to do right now. I want a brushy hat of some sort. And let's just make like a really awesome drum fill. This one could be cool if you increase the attack a little bit more so it kind of brushes up. And then, like, it's a pretty thick sound too, so I probably want to like cut some stuff out of it. Maybe even put like a very low slope kind of high pass on it. Maybe even lower, almost to the point where it's just like a shelf. Apparently not. Heck you, John. Actually, I'm gonna have to make that shorter as well, so I have more. Actually, is there any way I could just like select all of these? Can I do like a shift and select? Oh, I can. Fantastic. We'll turn off that one shot. Nice. So it's just kind of like Record Box. And now I can't remember what sample I had. Oh, it was this one. A little bit of release. Now we just got to figure out like where in our loop this would go. Do we want it like on like the second and fourth 16ths or only one of them, or is it going to be less recurring than that? So this is kind of where I like play around. So I'll do it on like both 16ths. Totally missed that, but whatever. Okay. The whole point is you kind of find out what works and what doesn't. John, what's the hotkey for moving over a single 16th? Come on, music tech major. Command A. That wasn't it. That ain't it, Chief. Unless you're talking about something else. Option and drag with mouse. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's try that. Ah, yes. Very good, John. Very good. For that helpful piece of advice, maybe I'll try and raid your Cyberpunk stream. Oh. Okay, let's turn that down a lot. It needs to be a little bit more subtle, but I was kind of digging the chunky vibe. Yeah, no, that's too much. Some of these need to go away. So let's try muting some of these. See what happens. Oof. You might not stream it. Yeah. The fun thing about this is that I haven't actually done any EQ on this whatsoever. And while this may sound like cool to some people, it's gonna sound like so much better like after like some real processing. Um, I when you make a track, you end up tinkering with like everything, just like so much. This is like like such a rough drum loop compared to what I would actually have in a like a finished track. So, whoops, that's not what I want to do. I'm gonna Command T just for John, and I'm gonna, whoops, god damn it. Command T, and I'm just gonna erase this first one. Actually, we're also gonna take out, or we're gonna mute this last one here, because I'm kind of liking having that last beat semi-empty. I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse on this open hat. Then again, the other thing that I haven't done with these is I haven't tuned them. So, you know, that could be a problem. Most of these kicks, I believe, are tuned to G. And we're going to be doing D flat minor. And I think your kick usually has to be tuned to your root note to actually like sound good. John, what's the rule on that? Do you know? What's the music theory? I don't know any music theory. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to save this for now. Lel stream track next via .logicx. Wow, we have 6 people tuned in to watch me struggle with the drum loop. That's great. Lel. I don't know. Let's take a listen to this. Tuned is better. But like, do I have like, should I tune my kick to the actual like root note? Do I need to bump this up like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 semitones? Bruh, that's gonna sound like crap. That sounds awful. Can I pitch it down like 3 semitones and start off with like an inversion? A new sample. Ugh. I guess I could try. Okay, let's pitch it up 6. They're all gonna sound like crap at that high. It's just too high. In battery, you would pitch it down and then use a pitch envelope for the transient. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. Although I can't do that. Maybe I should just, yeah. That'd be like super subby. If I were using like kick 2 or something, I could probably like swap out the bottom end. That could work. And then, so what I'm talking about is I can kind of use the character of this kick, but essentially remove. Hi, Angie. So I could remove the bottom end of like that kick that I had before. Oh, Angie, I could still see it. I could see your chat. It's either too high or too low. Yeah, John, like the actual kick itself, it wasn't gonna work by pitching it because we chose a very um, inconvenient key. So one of the things I could do is I could either use kick 2, which is a kick synthesizer, to be a substitute for the bottom end of my kick. Move my song to G. That just limits me creatively, John. Then do E flat. E flat. Yeah, I guess. But let's see if I can do this. Let's see if it would sound good. So we're going to pitch this down. Wait. No. No, that needs to go down. Oh my god, that's so low. Alright, looks like we're switching to E flat. Peer pressure. So I need to go down 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not making house. I'm making trance. I live life at 138 BPM, bro. Well, that's not doing anything. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's mute that. And we'll remove this. We're going to go back to our original kick. That sounds weird. Sounds like it's doing a boom, 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 boom. Am I crazy? No, that's it. I think it's just so over compressed that it's doing that. Fast house. Octagon? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, John? I'm just gonna berate you on this stream the entire time. Octagon. Stop saying words that aren't real. There's no such thing as an octagon. 8 OTTs at full. Good lord. No thanks. Damn it, John. It's a terrible idea. Actually. That does not sound bad. But I need something with some chonk to it. Wow, I just got a congratulations from Restream because the chat is so active. Yeah, like I need a chonky kick because I'm not doing like my typical 138 BPM trance. So I need something just that has like some chunk to it, not like. That might work if I layer it. I like the bottom end of that. Actually, I guess I could just move it up. Alright. That's not it. Where are you? Actually, that one's not bad either. Found it. So it lost a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit of. Actually, I Shouldn't use the Logic stock compressor. I probably have something better, like Neutron. I think it just needs a little bit more punch. Oh, you know what? I still have the... Oh, no, I don't. Yeah. So, all of these are a little too high in volume in comparison to the kick. So, I'm going to do something called busing, because these should all be on a bus anyways. So, putting all my hats and stuff routed to the same bus, so I can just turn the bus down. Let's organize these a little bit. And this is my fill clap, right? Oh no, that's my regular clap. Okay, these can be bused to the same one as well because it's not like my actual clap. So drag this bus down just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, I'm really liking that kick right now. It actually sounds like it would hit like really hard like on an actual club system. And it kind of feels like all my hats are still in tune. Yeah. I wish I had a sub pack, but you know, I spent too much money on other things like my virus, my beautiful Access Virus C, all the streaming stuff, my Oculus Quest 2, and my laptop. Um, Actually, John, if, I know it would probably be really good for VR, but I think I would rather get like one of like the haptic vests if uh, if I were to play in VR. But because like I guess the sub pack would probably be just like the better investment because it would help me out with music production. Yeah, and I want both, but I can't have any more stuff. I have too much stuff. I keep buying too much stuff. All right, so back on track. Hmm. I think I want to get rid of this one as well. Let's mute this hat. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better, but we can come back to it later. Um, Now, do I want to go back? Like we've got the basic lead, or sorry, not lead. We've got like the basic drum loop going on. I still don't have like any like real. Yeah, too much stuff, man. Uh, I don't want to like have any like real ideas flowing. But okay, let's see what now that we've like actually changed keys. Let's see what's going on. see, am I doing E flat, major, or minor? Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Yes, let's play our melody with hats. Oof. Do we want to do E minor? Or E major? Oh wait, no. It's E flat. Yeah, I'm stupid. Okay. Do we want to go major or minor? Well, minor. All right. Either way, we could still just do the fifths like Rose was suggesting earlier. You guys are giving me conflicting information. This is why I don't collab with people. Yeah, I think we're going to do a lot of fifths, like Rose was suggesting. Okay, I'm kind of liking that riff too. Hold on. Major 2 minor? Good lord. You gotta remember, I'm just a simple man who knows like zero music theory. I don't know how to change between keys. Or, I did learn a term from John during his studies. I could do a crowbar modulation. Modal mix. Yeah. If I actually knew how to play Ray's theme, I would play it right now. Alright, it's sounding a little bit thin right now, so I'm just gonna do my old trick. I do my old trick where I just use an LFO to modulate the pitch just a tiny bit at a really fast rate. So, okay, I'll show you how it sounds when it's like exaggerated. It just adds like a certain level of grit to it. And I almost want to say it kind of like adds a little bit of the kind of like analog imperfection. Like it obviously like doesn't, but it does a little bit of a simulation of that like imperfect analog wave. Yeah, it is FM. Because you're literally modulating the frequency of the oscillator. Yeah, I'm going to detune these just a little bit more. Angie, I am also streaming on YouTube, and it will be, it will be on YouTube until the end of time. Okay. So, okay, so we got just like a simple fifths. It's not bad. I am digging it. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I want to design like a pretty badass bass line. Like I'm not making progressive house. I'm not making like chilled out progressive chants. I want to do something that still has like a lot of energy. I want to do something with some kind of newer sound design. So when you're doing newer sound design, you use Serum. I'm not no. I want to do like something gritty. Perfect bass line right there. Just kidding. Let's see. I would use these, but they always have like way too many harmonics. Yeah. Yeah, that does me no good. Do the choir? Actually, let's get into the octave that we would normally. So, when I am doing basses, um, for consistency's sake, I tend to have my oscillators restart themselves. So I tend to turn what's known as the random oscillator down to 0. So that way the oscillators will always start at the exact same point in their phase or whatever. But usually these always sound better with a little bit of distortion on them. So let's open up my favorite distortion plugin, which is Trash 2. Drop the next line to B flat. B flat. My god, okay. Oh, to B. Oh, that is B. I fail at keyboard. Alright. Let's it's a little too FM-y. So we have like a foundation. So one thing that I'd like to play around with the wavetable position. And sometimes when you're like moving around the wavetable position, you can kind of find like a place where like the transition actually sounds pretty cool. And then I could just like do like a really fast modulation on that. Sorry, I'm just kind of playing around. Oh, I see. Okay. You still want me to do the B flat or whatever. Okay, it's a little messy. Okay, we'll set that modulation to really fast. But we're trying to make a bass line for just like our root chord right now. And if I'm gonna do a fat bass line, I don't think those chords are gonna do. But I'm not completely sure how I want to do this bass line. So maybe I will do kind of like a plucky bass line that's like filtered. Alright, okay, that is the amp envelope. sustain. Oh yeah. Especially with distorted sounds, you definitely want to turn on the key track to your filter. And then you can kind of like tune your filter cutoff. I'm not feeling this. I think it's the Duda choir that I'm not liking. Yeah, I think it's a little too smooth. That's a little bit more nasty. Option, shift, click. Oh, okay. So, whoops. Ah, nice one, John. Oh no, like you just did it just now. Yeah, I got you, John. I got you, John. I did it. It worked. Wait, did I put that back to where it's supposed to be? Yeah. Don't want the saw wave. I guess. There's no bass there, but I could always layer like a sub underneath, so. Nice. Well, I'm glad I'm inspiring you. Maybe I'll do a Dembo bass line. So, yeah, this bass kind of sounds like it's coming through like a tube right now, like an old radio tube or something. Alright, let's John, what's the shortcut to snap the ends of all these to the nearest grid point? Do you know? Do you know? Shorten that. God damn it, John, you had one job. Wait, something's not right here. What's going on? That length is not right. Ah, yes. There we go. Alright. So we have our baseline top layer, which is sounding kind of nice. Let's put something underneath it. First, let's remove any possible sub that might already be there. I'm digging how this sounds. What do I want to do for sub? I guess I'll do Serum. I'll just do a basic. So in Serum, there is this this oscillator called analog BD sine. So it's basically just a simple sine wave, but when you change the wavetable, it actually like adds some harmonics, some in. So here, okay, I'm gonna crank up the octave so you can hear it. So this is the analog BD sine just by itself. If I were to look at a spectrum analyzer on it, it should just be, okay, it's not a perfect sine wave, but you can see that pretty much like is almost at like a single point. A sine wave is like pure sound, so it should only exist at one point on the frequency spectrum. However, this is an analog sine, So there is another peak up here, meaning that it does have harmonics. Let me move this over. So if I change this wavetable position, it adds additional harmonics to it. So you can start to see these peaks show up. So a sine wave would be really easy to mix because you just kind of like place it wherever you want and make sure no other sounds kind of conflict with that. When you have more harmonics, the sound technically takes up more frequency space. So it can be a little bit more difficult to mix, but it also means that the sound is a little bit more fat in a way. So instead of just like a really low, simple sub, suddenly I've got like a warmer sub. So I'm just going to take this, our bass line, I'm going to MIDI, and I'm going to copy it to right below. It needs to come down an octave. I'll just do that in the synth itself. Oof, those are still very well separated. I guess I could probably do like a detuned saw layer in between. Yeah, those two sounds are still extremely separated. So I'm going to need to have another layer in there. Otherwise it won't sound like cohesive enough. So I think I'll open Serum again. Yeah. Oh, right. I'm going to do a couple of hardly detuned saws. And I'll probably turn the random off. Or make it very little. And then I'll just kind of remove the sub from it. And I might like the high end on it, so we might have to do like a notch somewhere around here to give the our character layer here some space. So wherever that exists, probably exists around there. Just gonna remove that from our kind of warmth layer that fills in the gaps. So let's copy that over. I think this has to be a lower octave. We'll do that once again, just in the synthesizer itself. All right, John, take care. I think it needs more. What do I want to do? You know, I think I took out a little bit too much there. And there's a little bit too much going on in the high end, so let's... Yeah, I think I want that to fill in the gaps there for this entire bass line. Still doesn't sound cohesive enough. I might have to come back to that later. So let's kind of see what we have going on here. This might just need to be EQ'd some more. Or EQ'd a little bit less. Okay. So if I turn on the EQ analyzer here, I can see what's kind of going on with my sound here. And I can use my EQ to kind of like make things a little less harsh. Yeah, so that peak there kind of gives it that really resonant sound. So I'm just gonna pull that down just a little bit. So with, without, actually, with, without, with. Now let's see how it sounds with the rest of the bass line. Alright. Are you guys still there? Alright, so this part of the bass line has like a filter decay on it. So I think this one is also going to need one as well. So let's throw a basic envelope on that one. If anything, I think this one might actually have to be louder. Maybe this one can just come down a little bit more. Either way, I'm gonna have to bus all of these parts of the bass line together. But yeah, I know it seems that this workflow is like a little bit like disjointed. It's like he was trying to work on a pluck at the beginning, and then he was working on drums, and now he's working on a bass line. It's like, how does he know to kind of do all this? And like, really, I just kind of go where like the workflow takes me. But like, I know that my bass line and my chords are going to be like the general foundation of the track, but because it's EDM, your drum line also really plays an important part. Yeah, this bass line needs more mid-range. Actually, maybe I just need to apply like some saturation or something to this. So let's go back to my distortion plugin and just click on one of the saturate presets, delicate harmonics, and just drive it up a bit. So without, with. Alright, let's see how it sounds. Alright, bass line is just a little bit loud right now, so until I kind of figure out how I want it to be placed in the mix, I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Alright, not bad, we are getting there. So I'm actually thinking of cutting the stream pretty soon. So I think I want to take this last little bit to like take certain questions, or if you guys want to see anything in particular. just let me know. All right, I'll just kind of be listening to this loop here. Until then, are we still good? Is everyone are people still tuned in? Anybody? Anybody there? If you're tuned in, let me know. That kick is really nice and punchy. Now that all these bases are bussed together, I'm going to compress them. Compression on like bust instruments can kind of like bring them all together. So let's see. So let's solo this bus. So yeah, it sounds a little bit disjointed. With the compression, it does sound a little bit more cohesive, I want to say. I think I like it better with peak compression though. Not sure if that makes sense though. Compression is one of those things that I still really don't fully understand, but I kind of use it anyways. Kind of have to. You want me to A-B the compression? Yeah, I think so as well. I think it brings them together pretty nicely. Um, wasn't quite what I had in mind when I was thinking of a bass line, but you know, I go where it takes me. Like I just come up with stuff, and sometimes it works. And I'm like, oh, you know what? This is actually a direction I think I can go down. So this would actually be kind of like a good like teaser bass line, and then like I do a build up, and then I just kind of like drop into this kind of like weird, funky, techie bass line. I don't know if I want to do that. Uh, I'm not sure. This is like one of those things I'll end up like thinking about for like a few days before I decide to actually like try it, see if I can actually get like a kind of funky but also really like gnarly bass going on. Okay. I don't know. We could try and come up with a pattern. So let's just copy our kick over for now. Wait, is that the same octave? It is not. Huh. I wonder if maybe... I wish I could copy this over. And just like have the exact same wave, but just an octave lower. PWM Electro, where are you? You know what? I think that's actually better. Can't quite duplicate it. There's gotta be a way to like copy an entire oscillator. Come on. Random down. Alright, let's put this on there. Six. Yo, what's up, Justin? Yeah, I'm liking that. Oh yeah. I'm gonna A and B that for you guys. Just so with just the one oscillator, the second oscillator that is an octave lower. Like, it's obviously all going to need some EQ work. It's going to change so much before the final product, but it is something. So, it's sounding a little bit bubbly. Let's... That might be a bit much. Yeah, let's decrease the modulation on that to like 1. It's just a little too bubbly. Oops. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. So later on, we'll probably have this filter cut off at high. So it'll end up sounding like... Oh yeah. Like, we could do, like, we could either do like the high filter cutoff and then just do like a simple pattern, or we can do the kind of like plucky bass. A different low pass? You mean like a higher slope? Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's probably better. So this is where I want to like experiment with like some type of like funky bass line. So like I want to just like loop the kick, and just like play around. That could work. Okay. That is enough for me to actually like manually move it around. Yeah, so whoops. Let's insert a note there. Let's see how that sounds with the two others. Whoops. Where'd that go? Oh yeah. Nope. Control C. Control V. Some of these might have to get lower down octaves, I'm not sure. Not quite what I had in mind. It's like it's not hitting big enough. It has to be something different with this. Maybe it's trash? Maybe I need to use a different type of distortion. Maybe I'll just try like an actual saturation on it instead. I'm not sure. That's too soft. I don't know how these guys do like those like thick basses. Maybe he needs another layer. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the bass line from Tiburon by Nitrous Oxide. Maybe I'm subconsciously ripping it off. That could be cool. You know, I might just have to deviate from like what I thought I was gonna do. So let's put our main clap on that weird little bass drop. Let's like play it out as if it was like an actual drop. So we're just gonna start off with like the kick and the bass line. Let's put the fill claps in too. Not bad. Sounds a little basic right now, but that's just because here there would be like a reverb tail from something, like a down riser. I'll give you an example. I'll just go into my east-west. Oh wait, is my hard drive plugged in? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So if I were to start off a drop, I would have east-west. All right. I was planning on cutting the stream like 5 minutes ago, but I'm gonna go just a little bit longer. So let's just pick a voice of something. And I'm just gonna like hard auto-tune it. Pitch, that's what it is. Pitch correction. I'm gonna auto-tune it to the key that we're using. We'll do major for now. We were doing E flat, so like D sharp. So like the drop would have like just a heavily reverbed vocal. It'll help put it into like perspective, I guess. It's not just like a completely dry drop. So this is like how I'd envision it. It just have like a slight vocal sample like right before. Yeah, that would be like right after build up. I'm not sure if that kick is fat enough though. Yeah, there would be more reverb tails there. Plus our clap is like super dry right now. Let's just put a very slight reverb on it. I'll use Space Designer. That is not slight. Okay. Let's turn it down, turn the length down. So that's super dry. Super dry. And then just like the slightest amount of reverb. Just enough to kind of give it like a little bit of like body behind it. I don't need it to be like super obvious on the clap. Just needs to kind of make it feel like it's taking up a little bit more sonic space, I guess. All right, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up. So while I really didn't get like an entire idea going, this is probably actually like pretty reflective of where I'd be at after like an hour and a half of like right after trying to start a new track. So let's see what we got here. All right, so not a bad drum loop at all. And then we got just like a short kind of like. So obviously this is not like a full kind of like track idea. This is very much just like the beginning of putting together like the bones of the track. Um, I am liking our I'm liking our percussion loop right now, which is this. I am at 134 BPM. Oddly, that seems too fast, even though I'm used to being in like 138. Let's see what happens if we turn down to 130. Okay, I think it's a little too slow. Let's put it up to 132. Yeah, I think we'll keep it at 132 for now. So okay, first of all, I'm gonna say I'm probably gonna leave this project as is for now until like the next stream. I'm thinking I'm gonna do this exact same thing next Wednesday, and until then, I'm gonna kind of like sit on this and just like think about it, and then the next stream I'm gonna come back with some new ideas. Hopefully, I will see. This was very much kind of like a almost like collaborative with the people in the chat. Whoops, I forgot about the pluck. Yeah, it's probably not gonna stay, but the pluck is just like a good thing to use for ideas. All right. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave this for now. And I'm going to have to like think about the direction that this seems to be taking me and if I think it's something that I actually want to do. But before I sign off, does anyone who's still tuned in have any questions or comments or anything? I will give you a couple minutes to get those out. Ooh, my back. No, I didn't really process any of the drums. I did like very minor EQ on some of them, but no, I've done like zero processing, so they are extremely rough right now. Yeah, just kind of like basic shaping of the sound. I want to say from kind of like a volume standpoint, like the length of the sample and the volume envelope. Yeah. For production stream, I am probably going to stream this time next week. So Wednesday at 7 p.m. PST. Yeah. Let's see. I only have like thanks, man, or whatever you identify as. I always say man for some reason. Not as like a gender thing. It's just like kind of like dude. Oh, okay. Um. Yeah. So 15 elements. Usually I have like upwards of 60. So 15 unprocessed elements with the exception of a little bit of processing on our bass line. not bad for an hour and 45, but like the ideas weren't really flowing, but they started to get there after the percussion was laid down, which is one of my workflows. I like to start on percussion and see how that goes. Other times I like to go in and get started with a melody. Yeah, it's something about drums, man. It's just you can put together really interesting drums, and then it puts you in a groove, and then suddenly you know how you want to fill the rest of that groove. Um, yeah, but anyways, I think I'm gonna call it a night here. I hope you enjoyed that stream. Um, uh, Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Thank you, Deep Mother, for staying all the way to the end. This was actually a pretty successful stream. We had quite a few people tune in, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm gonna try and make this more regular, especially since I do need to actually like produce music and get some new stuff out there. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. All right.